The Sack of Rome and the Church's Protection. This is from the City of God, Volume 1, Book 1, Argument 4 by St. Augustine of Hippo. So the fourth argument is, of the asylum of Juno in Troy which saved no one from the Greeks, and of the churches of the apostles which protected from the barbarians all who fled to them. Augustine's point is self-evident, comparing the Greeks' treatment of Troy and its places of worship with the barbarians' treatment of Rome and its places of worship. Troy itself, the mother of the Roman people, was not able, as I have said, to protect its own citizens in the sacred places of their gods from fire and sword of the Greeks, though the Greeks worshipped the same gods. So from Virgil's Aeneid, Part 2, 761, Phoenix and Ulysses fell. In the void counts by Juno's cell were set the spoil to keep,
snatched
from the burning shrines away. There Ilium's mighty treasure lay, rich altars, bowls of massy gold, and captive raiment rudely rolled in one promiscuous heap, while boys and matrons, wild with fear, in long array were standing near. Augustine then says, in other words, the place consecrated to so great a goddess was chosen, not that from it none might be left out a captive, but that in all the captives might be immured. Immured is defined as to confine within the walls of, or to imprison. In pagan religions, temples and idols were created to capture, confine, and imprison the gods within a form that could be beseeched and worshipped, in essence enslaving the gods to serve your own bidding. Augustine was trying to say that these idols that the pagans prayed to couldn't save others, and they couldn't even save themselves. Into it were collected the spoils rescued from the blazing temples, and snatched from the gods, not that they might be restored to be vanquished, but divided among the victors. Augustine states that the pagans collected the spoils of war in their temples, even war with other pagans. In fine, the gentle Greeks appropriated that temple of Juno to the purposes of their own avarice and pride, while these churches of Christ were chosen even by the savage barbarians as the fit scenes of humility and mercy. The barbarians showed more mercy and humility to the people within the churches than the pagan Greeks to each other and their places of worship. This contrasts the sack of Rome with the sack of Troy, and how civilizational collapse at the hands of a foreigner is but the same trend of this temporal, fleeting, and sinful world. It is merely inevitable, and even if you blame the last places of refuge for the violence and instability, the churches, you are contradicting your own morals, for your same ancestors did the same thing, pillaging and sacking, as the Romans had done to lesser nations and tribes, and may or may not have shown mercy at their places of worship. It comes down to if you think might makes right, which is all and good for those who are mighty and powerful, but then what happens when you are no longer mighty? You or your descendants then become the victim of the very thing you once did, and the cycle continues. So thus this concludes my video on the sack of Rome and the Church's protection. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.